All right, we are live once again, and this is kind of a unusual day because yesterday, in the midst of this heat wave, which has been hitting the country for the past month, you know, even though it was a nice sunny day, after just driving out and going grocery shopping or something, it wasn't too humid, so me and the wife were just sitting on the porch drinking a couple cold beers and talking for a while and just enjoying it. It's quiet, nice day. So, relaxing, unwinding, nothing extraordinary happens till we go in, have dinner, and watch TV. And in the midst of watching TV, my wife will go on to let her laptop right there and look at stuff. Uh, that's when we first got the thing that it was assassination attempt on Donald Trump at one of the rallies. Now, we've been saying things are getting really strange this year and things are going to be intense. And I kind of don't want to get into it because the last time we had a live with some political things, it was about the health issues. I got suspended for 2 months. Or almost three. I think I got a 90-day on that one. So, kind of struck me funny. And there's been a lot of speculation going on, okay, for months. But I went to a Trump rally here in Greensboro a few months ago. Okay, when he came, or I can't remember when it was, but he did come here and they had a rally. So I know something about the rallies, but they've gotten bigger since we went. It was really early in the spring, and they've gotten a lot bigger. When in Greensboro is a pseudo communist liberal city, and the mayor and that. So it was a very small gathering. There were a lot of people from North Carolina, from different parts of it came there. And I'd say, uh, they said there was a bunch of, I'd say maybe that there were 4 or 5 thousand people in reality, because all we did was filter through the complex, go into the one building, and it was only half of the building was open. There was a stage. There's people that follow him to every rally, and they were camped out a day before. And the people you see in the grandstands whenever he speaks behind him are these people that follow him, and there's seating, special seating. When you're behind him in the grandstands, that's special seating. And those are the only people seated, then the press, and then the VIP with all the politicians. I don't think the governor or the mayor were there, but there was a guy running against current mayor in the next election. He was there, and a few congressmen, like maybe a state senator or something. And there were some dignitaries, there were some politicians uh, from other states there. A huge stand full of news cameras and that, and photographers, and then all those people in there. And it was pretty strange. There was an armored tactical SWAT vehicle and people in gear, and like where the concession was, the way this is, the gun shows were held there. So there's this overhead door with a counter was the concession stand. It sold food and stuff. And you had this gigantic room with all this crap set up and all these people wedged in there. And we went and stood in front of the concession stand, and there were police everywhere. The cops said, "Don't stand here." So there must have been assault troops behind that door that could have flew up at any minute, so got the hell out of there. And it was kind of interesting in a way because it's the closest I've ever been to a president or ex-president, you know, and to hear him talk. And basically, what it turned into was just him carrying on about, you know, basically trash talking Biden and the administration, which I already know that. But the interesting thing was, I did see how it was set up, how they bring him in. They bring him in a special way in the back, and they had all them plates set up around him like anyone. Okay, and those are bulletproof deflectors, that are around when he's at that podium. There isn't, clear barricades all the way around him. So when all this stuff hit in the news today, okay, and of course, being that we're all into guns, this is real bad. Number one, it's an attempted assassination on Trump, which has all these political ramifications. And of course, the individual that shot at him had an AR-15 weapon, okay? An AR-15 style weapon. So now the gun control, mass shootings, all this, is it going to start another panic? Okay, are we going to see ammunition and weapons dry up? Right now, the markets are flooded. Okay, because the cold, simple truth is, over the past 10, 15 years, people have bought all kinds of guns. Okay, and really, if you hadn't bought something to defend yourself now after all this stuff in the past 15 years, then you were underage or you're way behind the times. Okay, that's why you see all these sales like these cheap Turkish guns I'm working on. That's why they're selling them. They're not that good. Nobody's buying them. And, they're just sitting there. They just want to get the inventory and get a cash flow back. Same thing with ammunition. Some ammunition's hard to find. Reloading components are impossible to get your hands on. But yet they keep cranking out 223, 5.56, 9mm ammo by the truckload. And now all these online distributors are hanging on to this crap. Okay. And, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, money's tight. I mean, like when we discussed in the other videos and stuff, inflation in reality, it's like whatever cost you $500 costs you $1,500 now. What they're telling you, the rate of inflation, is a total outright lie. Okay. All right. So the ground's being set for all of us that are, just regular people. The lies about inflation, which throws the silver market off. And by the way, I got some of these. These are going to be fun. These, I can't see. Can you see it? I got to get it. Yeah. Silver Trump coins. Yep. With the flag and everything else. Not a good thing. I'll make a video. But all right, Staley, you're new. Well, you caught us. Generally, we talk about guns, but now with the thing going on, I don't know how you stand politically, but Trump has gathered a lot of support, and how it ties in to the guns, the firearms thing, whether it be sporting weapons or, we do discuss a lot of military guns and ammunition supplies. And all of us have known, like I said, for these past 10 to 15 years, every time there's some kind of bizarre political thing, that there's a run on the gun shops, there's a shortage of ammunition, there's a shortage of firearms, prices go up, and it's crazy. And as I was saying, right now, the way it is with inflation and the economy is actually pretty shitty. Everybody is short on money, okay? And the way that the industry is making up for the past history, the distributors and places, they're drowning in 5.56 ammo for the AR-15s and 9mm. And a lot of people have gotten a 300 blackout. I'm starting to see 300 blackout ammo all over the place, which in the past, when they first come out, and I have a 16-inch upper, and I made a pistol upper in 300 blackout. just because it's the easiest conversion of an AR-15. Okay, you just have the upper with a different barrel. You use the same mag, same bolt. So, but now that I guess is a popular thing. I'm seeing a lot more of that ammo coming up, and a lot of people argue, the value of it and all. Well, whatever. But they are fun to shoot, and it does give you a little bit heavier bullet than a 223. Um, so now we're looking at what's been going on, okay, and how is it going to connect to the availability of ammunition, guns, gun control. All right. Uh, so the way it led up to, and very strange things happened. Number one, they had presidential debate about a week ago. I made a video. A lot of people commented on it. And the strange thing is, a lot of political analysts are saying that neither Trump nor Biden have been officially nominated through the process, have been made officially the two parties' next presidential candidates. Actually, that's supposed to happen, I guess, tomorrow or this week or something in Milwaukee. Okay. And the Democratic convention has not happened either. So neither one of these people are the official candidates, but they had a presidential debate, which was bizarre in itself. Okay. There are some people that say that towards the very end of the campaign or the elections or the nominations, they would have swapped out the two candidates and it'd be two other people. Okay. And there's all kinds of rumors of who and what and where they're going to try to slide in there as the official nominee. Okay. And now, after yesterday, it kind of looks like it because, I mean, it was true. He said that bullet clipped his ear. Okay. So you're talking, he was that close to being dead, which that would have changed the whole situation. And of course, like I said, unfortunately, one person in the stands behind him, like I said, when you go there, those are all the VIPs or people that follow him, all the people in the stands. And there was a clip where there was a guy, if you look, in a red shirt holding up a sign. He said the guy sitting down below him, because I guess shooting at an angle, the bullet went down, hit him in the head, killed him instantly. So one guy was sitting at an angle, just in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was gone like that. And then the guy said the only other one he seen was a woman got hit in the wrist with a bullet. So there were two people injured and one dead. And Trump had his ear clipped with a bullet. So they say. Okay. But what gets me is I don't understand how those bullets went through that shielding that's there. Okay, which is around the podium. So maybe that's why I know there's some kind of special armor piercing thing that's, some guy at a gun show was trying to sell me some of that ammo for a ridiculous price. It's not supposed to be available to civilians or something. And I'm thinking of use that in an AR. Like I said again, what's going to start another wave of insanity is the first thing they said, assassination attempt with an AR-15 style rifle. So now all the legislation, the gun control is going to come firing up, I guess, after they get over the shock of all this. And we're going to see more increases. Probably you're going to see people will borrow money to go buy ammo. Okay, I'm stocked up about as well as I can be these, past year or so. The price has gotten low enough to where it's cheaper to buy some ammunition than to reload it. Okay. All right. That's the thing. And I've gotten 9mm. I've gotten 5.56, 62 grain. And my one rifle loves that ammo. I bought a bunch of that, cases of it. And kind of, I would suggest, you guys kind of If you got some spare change, pick up. If you're short, I may have to go and buy some. After testing the shotguns, I've been clearing out all my damn ammo. It's been lying around for 30 years. I think it's time to replenish some of the double aught buckshot and get some fresh ammo just to have around for those guns. All right, man. It looks like he used a 22. I don't think so because it was about 130 yards from a rooftop on another building. And yes, Chris, that's another question that come up. If you look at how it was laid out, okay, when I went to the rally, it was inside a small building, and I would say there were maybe not even a third of the people in there that was at this rally. Because, like I said, where I was, um, I don't think he was that welcome or whatever. And when he had a rally prior to his winning the last election in Charlotte, a lady said she went there, and I don't know if she said there were more people or less people, but after we went to the rally here and some things were going on and statements made, when he went to Jersey, Ohio, and these other states, I mean, there were thousands and thousands. They said the turnout was surprising. And as the economy has grown worse, a lot of people are looking to Trump to straighten it out. Because no matter how you look at it, okay, when he was elected, the economy, and for just working class people, okay, I worked in a factory. They were talking about having to send me home because there was a lack of work prior to the election. Things were slow. The economy wasn't good. Okay. The minute he got elected, within less than a month of the election, I ain't talking about him taking office and doing this. I'm talking after the election. By the end of that year, we were working overtime, orders were coming in, and companies were spending money to have us produce their product to build their finished product. Is we made parts for different apparatus. I've done that all my life. And it just took off. And actually, the years he was in office, things were very good. Okay, until towards the end and the health crisis and that, but things were good. So, I don't know. And yes, the reason the Secret Service kind of in on it is looking at it. If you look at the aerial photo, there's the grandstand, it's outdoors. There's a huge thing of bleachers of people. Okay, and then them VIPs in the back, the podium, probably surrounded by it. So yeah, when you're down and the podium is up, that's all probably bulletproof. Okay, the shields and the podium itself. I don't know. In other words, you don't have a clear shot at the guy if you're down on the ground. Okay, this guy's on roof, and like they said, 130 some yards uh, out. Okay, and outside of the security barrier. So it's like they had this huge open area, set up the stage podium and the bleachers, and then outside the edge of their perimeter, there's another commercial building, like a steel building. It's just the steel sides and the roof, and it's all white or gray. Okay, so this is like a light color. That roof ain't dark. Now, supposedly, the Secret Service is up there all over the place, and this guy's on this giant building and this roof, 130, 140 yards away. He's on the roof with an AR-15, which, yes, 5.56, 130 yards, 200 yards, easy shot. I zero my rifle in at 100. I shoot it at 200 yards. You're talking that much of a difference one way or the other. All right. They're a very flat shooting gun up to that distance. I think it's when you go out 300, 400 yards. That's when it starts to vary. But 100 to 200 yards, once you zero your gun in at 100, at 200, it's there. So he's under 200 yards. So he's got his zero in, and he's got it. And then the fact that if you're elevated coming down, that's another thing. And I don't see how the son of a bitch got up there. Okay, when we went through the security, you had to go through a metal detector, empty out your pockets and that. Fortunately, you didn't have to take your friggin' shoes off like at the airport. And I think they had TSA officials and the things set up there. So everyone went through security. But then again, crawling around with a full size rifle, okay, on a roof that's all white, that you can see him moving. And these people are up there with all kinds of scopes and this and that and everything else, the Secret Service. And they didn't see this guy get up on the roof. Or even if he's up there before they came, you had to be able to see him on there. Okay. And then he fires, and instantly, you see these guys with sniper rifles on tripods and two, three of them, and then bang, 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 and then he's dead. Very, very curious. There's going to be a lot of conspiracy talk. There's going to be a lot of videos I'm going to make about this. There's going to be a whole whirlwind of weird shit going on with this because this don't look good for anybody one way or the other. And I believe it was a very, very true assassination attempt. I don't believe it was just done by some 20-year-old weird dude that just out of the blue did it. I mean, there's too many holes in this story, but it was close for him. And we're talking political unrest and that. And again, AR-15 rifle. So now, is there going to be a ban? Are they going to push all this other stuff? Um, is there going to be another shortage in runs again? Are we going to prepare for that crap? Where everyone's going to run into the store and buy all the ammo and guns and stuff that, where we just got done with almost 2 years of this since the health crisis. 2 years. Okay. And we'll see. What's this here? I don't know. See, this is another thing. This whole conundrum. Okay, this is where this for gun control and gun rights. Uh, this puts him in a big bad spot because now the gun debate. They're going to say, well, you were almost killed. How can you allow these guns to be legalized by, these guns we want to ban or use to try to kill you? So now this puts him in a real tight spot. Okay. Because what the premise is it's the gun's fault. And the thing is, no, it's people. Okay. If you go on the illegal market, okay, if you know where to go, they sell rockets and stuff along with narcotics. So if you're, in that pipeline, I think if you really wanted something, it ain't that difficult to ask around and try to find, you know, something illegal. You know, he could have went and just got a light machine gun and hosed down the whole crowd. Okay, you know. And another thing, I don't know how the hell he thought he was going to get out of there. So was this like some kind of suicide mission or something? I mean, if you had, unless you had an escape route or something, there were a lot of very strange things about this. And now it does set a giant premise, and it's going to make it difficult for everybody. Okay. Where this is going to go, I don't know. And politically, it's another thing because there's a lot of other things other than gun control that's kind of hinging on all of this. All right, and it's a tough call. You know, it's bad enough now you can't afford to reload any of your custom loads or off the wall stuff. And like I said, the prices have kind of come down on some ammunition, but not all. Okay, and just when it hits this point where there's piles and piles of it, I haven't checked and seen if the price has gone up. I don't know if the price of silver and gold has gone up. It's been fluctuating, something crazy, okay, up and down for the past few months, okay, which I've never seen such a wild fluctuation. Okay, the stock market is going up. And just like around 2000, I was talking to some people. I mean, the stock market was going berserk there in the 90s. I mean, it was up. Everybody who invested in 401k and mutual funds, at that time are looking at what they had in there, what they made on what they put in there. And it's like, hey, man, I'm going to have it made when I retire another 30 years from now. Okay. And it took a 65 or almost 70% loss in the stock market when it crashed. It crashed in 2000 and then it crashed again with the housing bubble around 2008. Okay. That one wasn't too bad. I think you only lost about 50% of your money, or maybe it was 60%. Okay. Again, so over that period of time, all the savings I had for retirement, I ended up, having a nice amount of money when I was like 30 some years old. But by the time I was 45 years old, I had way less money in a 401k account than I did, you know, 10, 15 years ago. And it never come up. Yeah, they're all down a little this morning, but I mean, they had a jump, and silver's moving like $3 one way or the other over a span of a couple of weeks, which it shouldn't be doing that. Okay. Um, and I'll give you guys a heads up. I'll give you a financial warning. Okay. What I've done is taken my money out of the stock market because the Fed has raised interest rates. Now you can go and put it in a CD and make a flat interest rate. Okay. Now, generally, what I do is my dad did the same thing when he was a little bit older than me or my age. Put it in for 6 months. And then that way, you're not going to get. Fortunately, there's no emergencies or nothing. And your money goes up, and it's so much, and it's just guaranteed. Stock market goes up, stock market goes down. You still have a little bit of money. It ain't a lot, but you're not losing. Okay. Our bank offered us, or our credit union offered us CD. Okay. And so they advised me when I was working with my retirement fund. They said, well, if you do this, we're offering CDs. Say, take a portion of your savings, put it in a 6 month CD, and that way you'd make some a little bit more money than just letting the money set in the bank account. And I said, okay. But then they offered us a money market account. And the money market account, where you can draw your money out of your savings if you need it, is not locked in. The percentage difference was pretty slight. My wife said the difference is so much. Why have it tied up for 6 months? If the well goes bad, or we have some kind of problem, or we need a new refrigerator or something, we can just go to the bank, get the money out, and we're still making interest on it. So I said, okay. She gets an email a few months ago, and the CDs they were offering is about 4.3, 4.5%, say. Well, she gets an email from this bank that we're doing business with that they got a special deal. And I mean, I think the minimum amount, it's something crazy, is like $300. So if you want to get a $300 in a CD, which I never heard of that before, that's the minimum amount you put in there. But what it is you lock this thing in. And usually when you go get them, it's 6 months, year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. Okay, is the normal increment. For some odd reason, they're offering it 9 months. 9 months at 5.3% or 5.4%. So it was offered beginning of June. So that would take you 6 months through the year and the first 3 months of next year post election. Okay, so 9 months covers this turbulent time to the election. And I guess that's the first quarter. That's like when all the shit with the government up till March is done. So you would be making this high end interest up till March. But then there's a fine print that if you agree to this, you get this high interest rate. But then once that CD terminates, you're automatically locking your money into a 12-month CD for whatever the rate is at that time. Okay, so they give you the rate for now for 9 months, but then your money's automatically shifted into another CD for 1 year. Okay, at the rate at that point in time, which could be 0.5% or something like that. So what that's telling me, and see, this is just common sense. I didn't take accounting or study economics in college, but look at what's going on. They're offering you a high rate of interest, which I haven't seen that in, I don't know, 10, 15 years or something, for 9 months. And this 9 months happens to coincide with all the crap going on until the election, and 3 months that I guess the end of the fiscal year is in March or something, as far as the government's concerned. So that would be the end financially, March, of this current administration. And then your money will be locked in automatically at whatever the hell rate they're given at that point in time, which could be a negative number for all I know, for a whole year. What this kind of tells me is they're already planning on issues, and they're planning on runs on the bank after March of this next coming year. Okay. So everybody's all on edge and thinking that everything's going to go bad before the election. I doubt that very much. I believe they're going to keep things status quo. There's going to be no huge shift or collapse until sometime in the beginning of next year. So all you fellas that are in the prepping, you got some time. And it's pretty basic. If things start getting out of control or they do like this supply chain friggin' crap, have some damn food stored, water, okay? Keep cash on hand. Okay, if they have a run on the banks or the banks are froze up, it's always good to have some cash money stored away in a house somewhere. They tell you even for like the ice storm. We had a damn ice storm. We lost power for a week. Okay, it took us 3 days for the roads to get clear to get out. And when we did find one gas station somewhere on the outskirts of town heading to another city, they had power on, you could pump gas, but the computers for their cash register, so whatever you rang up, you had to pay them in cash or you didn't buy nothing there. There's no way for them to take electronic payments. So yeah, things are going to get bizarre. Things are going to get crazy here. So it's best, I know a lot of people sound off here on about prepping and all this other stuff. Have some emergency supplies ready in case they do this crap where they cut off the supply chain again, have some cash on hand in case there's financial instability. And of course, we all know, stock up on all the stuff you think you'll need to defend yourself. Okay, because it is getting stranger and stranger. Just the petty crime is starting to get out of control. Okay, this one place I hang out in, they had several incidents the past few months. Okay, people wandering around with knives, people running into the building and saying they're going to kill me, they're going to kill me. And a group of people drive up and come looking for this guy. They're chasing him, and it's getting crazy. Okay, I mean, I've seen the overhead projection, okay, or the photo from the air. That building, 100 yards or something. How can you miss that? Okay, it's outside of their perimeter. It takes you 3 minutes to walk to the goddamn thing, and the building's huge. And then, like I said again, it's just a narrow pitch roof. How could you not see the guy? Okay, and they don't have a drone or something flying around to see if somebody's moving and the buildings around. I don't really see how. You know, yeah. Well, Hodge, what some people were saying, like I went back when I was talking earlier. The thing is, they had a presidential debate, okay, but neither one has been officially nominated through the process that they do from either the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. Trump and Biden have not been officially nominated. They haven't had their conventions yet. Okay. And someone said, how can they do that? How can they say this is a presidential debate with only two people when neither one of them are nominated? Okay. When they did it early before, they would have all the different nominees in the debate. Okay. This is highly strange. And they had him do it. And what they did is they made Biden look bad and cast doubt on him. And all Trump did was, they had it to where he was muted, but all he's doing was just they're arguing that each one did this, each one caused all these problems, but neither person come up with a solution to the problems that are there. Okay. He would just say, well, it's all your fault this happened. And then he would say, it's all your fault this happened. Okay, but if you get elected, who's going to correct these problems, regardless whose fault it is? And you never hear that from any of the politicians, not them two, all of them. Okay, we got problems. How are you going to fix it? They don't say that. It's like, well, the reason we have this problem is because they did this or this individual did this. Nobody's going to say, how to fix it. So it's all nonsense. And a lot of people have the consensus, and there are rumors that something bizarre is going to happen, like this question, in October, that somehow some kind of catastrophe or something's going to happen where neither one, Trump or Biden, are going to be the nominees for the upcoming election. There's some people out there and all kinds of theories and this and who. They even said that certain people are running a campaign in the background and all this other stuff. How they're going to do that? Well, if Trump got hit in the head with a bullet yesterday, that answers that question. Um, but how they're going to do this or what premise they've been trying to say that if he's a convicted felon, he can't run, and that hasn't worked. So it's kind of like everything they're setting in a way to stop him is not happening. And this thing here, who knows? Who knows who's behind it? Who knows what? But it does not look good. Okay, I don't believe, because I don't know if any of you guys know, every former president, once you're out of office, has round the clock Secret Service protection for a certain period of time. Now, I don't know how long that is, a year, 2 years, or 4 years. I don't know. But once you're voted out of office, the Secret Service detail, or there's a detail that covers that guy's ass for a period of time after he is out of office. And I don't know, I can't remember how long it was. The last time it was brought up, it was a long time ago. But I know that he's supposed to be under watch for a while afterwards. They are presumptive candidates, all right, but yeah, they're not official, okay. And a lot of foreign observers or different people who observe the political functions here question that. And security compromised. Well, obviously, okay, security is either compromised or there's some kind of scam going on here. I have no idea. But, if it is, you can say conspiracy theory, crackpot theory, whatever. If they were letting it slide, now we're going to have like a Kennedy, just like a Kennedy deal. Okay. When President Kennedy showed up in Texas, there are a lot of holes in the Secret Service, the amount of people, or how he was covered. Okay, and this is something I don't really want to bring this up because I know people have gone on, contacted me, asked me questions about the firearms and that. But yeah, there were some suspicious things during Kennedy's assassination, President Kennedy. His brother also. Okay, a lot of very unusual and strange things happened during these things. Um, See, my question is, like I said, I went to the rally, and anyone who speaks publicly, that's where you see, sometimes you'll see it, that clear plastic thing in front of them. That's supposedly some sort of a bulletproof material. Okay, but are keeping ARINGKR-15s now. Don't understand what that means, but uh, is there going to be a ban? Because, like I said, they said something in the first report about glass being broken. So whatever the hell he was shooting at him, I think smashed those bulletproof plates, which have to be some sort of banned uh, ammunition in there. But I don't know. As a gun channel, I don't know how this is going to go off. I'll keep an eye on it. And also, I mentioned I had issues uploading to my YouTube channel. And what it is in the area I live in. Okay. Let me see something here. In the area I live in, my internet connection, and I'm just trying to get I've tried for the past 2 days to upload the last video in my series on the Turkish shotguns, and it just will not upload because whatever the hell they did, the speed or whatever. I just tried uploading the video on Rumble, so you may have to go to my Rumble channel to see any current videos. Okay, it's not something YouTube is doing to me. It is just the way my software works. I'm lucky I got this live broadcast to go up, And probably from now on, if I have to say anything, I'll go live and stream it. But the problem is you can't handle firearms or anything like that while we're streaming. Okay. Uh, and I don't believe there's a way to tie the video footage into the stream. Maybe there is, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with Rumble. I guess at the end of the month, they said they're redoing the connections by my cable provider or my online provider, and hopefully will increase the speeds, and I will be back up again to where I could start uploading videos, because I got a ton of videos to upload, but I've been stuck for the past 3 days. I can't upload anything. The infrastructure in the region has changed because there's developments going up. There's that new factory down the road. And when my wife works from home in the summer, she told me when they were redoing the power lines, they had to feed some more power and water lines to this factory facility, that it interrupted the internet service. So somehow there's either too many people on what is set up there for bandwidth or whatever the hell. So you may, and I'll put something up and direct you guys, give you links, go to Rumble and watch my current videos, because it looks like I'm having issues uploading them to YouTube. And again, it's not because YouTube's holding them back. It's just it must time out while I'm uploading. It's so fragmented and pausing, it times out, and then they stop the upload. But yes, things are going to be different. Uh, I know some of you are mentioning that. I have no idea what kind of bizarre shenanigans they're going to pull uh, prior to the election. I think people will be more worried about who's going to be nominated or running, other than a gun control thing. Now, I know that the gun law uh, people out there on YouTube, there's a bunch of them. Washington Gun Lawyer, he's one. He's pretty good. And there's several guys, and there are I guess they're all lawyers. They just constantly make these things and go through the whole legal rigmarole and premise and that. Uh, it's informative, but it's kind of drawn out, and it does wear on my nerves because, who knows what's illegal, legal. There are a lot of states banning AR-15 style rifles or having similar bans with a huge long list of different models of guns, much like the guys out in Canada tell me about it. There's a list, and if that make, model, manufacturer of that weapon is on there, then it's in a category where it can't be owned or whatever the hell. Stuff like that's going to happen. I don't see any gun laws changing here in my state. It'll be a state or local thing. And I think now with this BS assassination attempt, um, I don't know, unless somebody's poised and ready to shove something through. Okay, I don't know. You don't know the reaction. Okay, it's anybody's guess. It's uncertain times. All right, has anybody got any questions? We had about 25 people up here. I guess people really aren't interested in the debate. So while we still got some time and my throat ain't cracked and dry yet, anybody have any question about collecting mil surplus guns, or we should discuss mil surplus guns, ammo, or anything of that nature? Or any questions? And I see the thing is dropping off rapidly. We had about 25, 30 people. Or anybody got questions about how the laws or circumstances are going to change? Are they going to have a confiscation of AR-15 guns. Are you on some sort of secret government list where you'll be targeted now, irregardless of who or what happens? And the big question is, yes, how is Donald Trump going to stand on gun control after this incident here? Okay, we're going to see how that's going to. And company 300 what? Do-do-do-do-do. So, yep. So, a lot of stuff, a lot of questions, a lot of fun. Going to be exciting. Got to try to get to where I can get up and get my videos uploaded. If not, I'll have to make short live streams and keep checking out my channel. And if I got to make a comment or if I hear something important or something, I won't be able to make a video. I'll just go on a live stream, make the comments. So look for that. That'll probably be the easiest and simplest way that I can get up on YouTube. All right, Chris, thank you. Until we get this internet service provider crap straightened out here. But yes, uncertain times. So like I suggested, use common sense. All these things people tell you, don't go crazy and be putting a 10,000-gallon freshwater cistern in your yard or something. Just basic precautions not to get caught with your pants down. Make sure you got plenty of ammo, some foodstuffs set aside in case things get ugly. And now, are there going to be riots again wherever this guy shows up or whatever? Who knows? And like I said, also be aware if your state is going to try to push through some legislature, okay, where it's going to be illegal or something. Because even with when we had the pistol brace thing, there were some states that if these things became National Firearms Act, where you had to register $200 and all that, like a machine gun or something, there are some states where you cannot own any of those items. And if this item is already by the ATF considered that type of item, and you have no recourse. They either confiscate it, arrest you, or whatever. So, we got to keep an eye out for that crap too. Because with or without Trump, they could pull something on a federal level now, because this is a crisis. So I guess we'll see. But like someone told me, the metals are down when they were up this week. They went up, jumped up, then they dropped the hell down at Friday. And then inflation's still high. I don't care what anybody says. They're saying inflation's cooling off. That's crock of shit. Gasoline's gone up in the past week. I don't know about where you guys live. But here it has. Buckle up, Kemosabe. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know what's going to happen. I'd have to look and see. I'm not sure. When's the convention? Is convention today? The Republican convention, or this week or something? What is it? It's the 15th. I think it's tomorrow, 15th or 16th, Tuesday. The national convention for Republicans. They tried getting him. They tried getting him before he got there. I mean, it's scary because that was close as shit. All right. Close as shit. And like I said, yes, AR-15s. Everybody, it's like, I'll tell you a story. When everybody was thinking they were going to come back and outlaw and ban the AR-15 rifles, it's much like now with the silver. Everyone's thinking silver is going to go from $22 an ounce or whatever they were buying it up to $50 an ounce and that. And when it did that time, I remember when it did that back in 1979. Okay, it's a totally different thing. Okay, totally different. And it was like it went up, and something was done, and with a very short period of time was right back to where it was 2 years before. Okay. Do a story on a Danish destroyer or Spanish destroyer rifle. There, Shady Grady. You're talking the Spanish destroyer? I don't have one. Okay, I tried getting one. I remember when I looked at the price of it, I thought it was too high. And I kicked myself in the ass because now, after 12 years, the things are 3 times more than what the guy wanted for it back then. Yeah, Peter, that's about the way it is. Okay. The only reason I even fool with it is because I stacked years ago in this turbulent time, and I don't have a ton of it. Okay, I don't have an awful lot of it. But I figured I'd get some of it, and if it goes up, great. If not, well, I still got a bunch of silver. Not a huge amount or any kind of, you know, amount, but I thought I'd just play a little with it again. Plus, it gives me something I got the other channel. I get a lot of interest in it, and I talked about some of the stuff's collectible. Some of the stuff I'm buying, I'm never going to get my money out of it. I just buy it to have something and something different other than a stack of military rifles or something. So you gotta have diversified interest. Um, yeah, but is that what you mean? Spanish destroyer rifle? You got one of them hidden down there in the basement somewhere? But yes, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, you do? Oh, I got ammo for it. You didn't loan it to me. I'll do the video. No, all sold. Or you had one, but you sold it. All right. I know. I mean, when I seen it, I think the guy wanted $375 for it or something. And at the time, I don't think about 20 years ago. Yeah, that's about it. Uh, Whatchamacallit wasn't making the brass. They make the 9mm Largo brass, and it's perfect. So all them Spanish guns, I can shoot the hell out of them. And the Largo. Now, 314, he's got some of that 1960s, early 60s ammo. Hunter's Lodge, Tennessee. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because you could drive right down there to them guys. Now, and I think I remember when they were selling them, they brought a batch of them in at one time, and that's where a lot of them came in. And they were anywhere from some of them were okay to where some of them didn't work worth a shit and they had parts missing and were pretty beat up. So it was kind of a hit or miss thing. But the interesting thing is I don't see them that often broker. But again, trying to bid on one of them. I always did want to get my hands on one because it fit in with my stars and my other Spanish pistols. And like I said, I make a load for 9mm Largo. It works beautiful. And the trick is the cases, even though they're the same, there's something about the bevel on them. Like a 9mm Largo is different than a 9mm 38 Super or the Austrian. pistol brass. That's why you always find busted extractors on your Spanish guns, because people are firing the wrong brass in there, and it cracks. And them extractors, I had to make several of them for myself, and they're very sharp. They're very thin. Okay, and what it is, and that is somewhat. It's more powerful than a 9 millimeter. So when you're shooting something like that in there, and that's why they always break. I had to make numbers of them, several of them, uh, and that. But yep, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? And yeah, I got to get back to you. I'll give you another call. I don't know what's going to happen now. Got some things come up. My wife's work schedule, so I don't know if I'll be getting up that way. Maybe, maybe not. Don't know. But yeah. So I don't know, guys. Any questions? I think I've just about talked out the subject matter, and now nobody has a Spanish destroyer rifle for us to test and work on. Anybody else out there have a mill surplus question or a theory on what's going on with the current topic? All right, take it easy, buddy. Well, so I guess we'll recap what I'm doing. I went out and I got those three different Turkish shotguns. And so far, I put, like I said, I took all this ammunition been laying around forever, put some rounds through them. They are questionable, like in our last discussion. The quality of these guns is not the best. Um, just, I am just about out of the surplus market. Oh, yeah, it's true. What's surplus guns? Okay, like these Turkish guns. Okay, like I say, the prices I'm getting them for. If the damn things even work halfway decent, you're ahead of the game. Okay, but the problem is, and much like surplus guns, if something goes wrong, or you have a broken part, or a missing screw, or an extractor that is broken, it can be excruciatingly difficult. I have so many people just asking me, "Do you have these parts?" And actually, no, I really don't stock parts or buy them when I see them. I did for some Carcanos, and I did for some of the older Italian rifles. Um, if I seen parts lots come up, but you can hang on to parts for so many years you forget what the hell it went to. Because I got some Czech VZ24 barrel bands in that, and I don't even remember where I put them. Okay. And people call me up, well, I need this for this and this gun. Okay, like the Dutch 95 Mannlicher rifles. Okay, that's going to be a tough thing to find parts for. There used to be, during surplus days, there were people that would buy the guns and stock them. Springfield Sporters, there were several companies. Numerous Arms or Gun Parts Corporation used to have all kinds of stuff. Okay. But over time, because surplus guns are going up so much that, you know, building them from scrap parts and then reselling them is a hobby. You can't find parts. Okay. You cannot find parts. Say, all right, thank you, Trey. Um, so yeah, I mean it's problematic, and like with these uh, Turkish shotguns, The pump gun, I had some issues with it, and ended up one of the cross pins and that little tube with the retainer. That thing actually broke off on the end, and there's no way to get a spare part. So now that one pin that holds the whole trigger group in there goes back and forth in that gun. And if you're going through the woods and bang that or just handling it and that thing comes flying out and you lose it, I don't even know where you can get another one of those pins. So, you know, it's that little annoying thing that breaks, that your gun ends up not being usable or becomes to where it's unreliable because it's loose or screwed up. Um, One of them, the one semi-auto, seems to be working pretty good. Run some more ammo from it. I'm not going to do a 500 round burn down like that one guy does. Um, but he actually had a Chinese pump shotgun and made it through it and didn't fall apart. Okay, so pump shotguns may be the way to go. Um, then there is the AR-15 style gun, and I seen one video where the guy was just firing it normally, and he had 2 or 3 times he took it out to the range, and him, his father, and his buddy shot the gun, 2 3/4 shells, nothing weird, nothing crazy. Shooting, couple range sessions, and then he was out there and his buddy was shooting it. He pulled the trigger after 2 rounds went off, and then boom, the whole lower receiver, magazine, and all that stuff. It's like it fired out of battery and blew back down. It could have been the case or the cartridge, or it could have fired out of battery. Okay. I'm not quite sure what happened there. But yeah, the gun did explode. But yeah, so like the video on the old guns, I have to dig up some more or bring up some more. I was supposed to go out and shoot the black powder guns. I had everything. I took them out, checking my bullets. I still got some caps. But this past month with this heat wave, I mean, when I went out and did a little bit of testing with the pump guns or the shotguns, I did come close to getting heat exhaustion or a heat stroke or something, and it just wasn't good. But I'm gonna try. Got to try to iron out this nonsense with my internet service provider or get another one. But the only problem is the competition. They're gonna have to come and run the cables and dig my whole damn yard up and come into the house and install all the stuff and the modem and all this other shit, and it's going to be a royal pain in the ass, you know. But, and then you don't know if it's going to be any better. They all promise you everything for a year or something. The company was already sold once or twice. So there's a whole different name, and then all the people come and install this shit. So you don't know. All right, guys. So stay tuned, and like I said, get a Rumble account, because if this keeps going on, I got a bunch of videos. I'm going to put them up on Rumble. And what I'm going to do is eventually try to catch up and get them on YouTube to cover it. And I will do live streams just to get out. I will do like a little short live stream. So keep an eye on the channel, and I'll put down AR ban or whatever. So that way, just keep checking back on the channel. I'll make a short video and then try to keep you guys informed if anything is changing in terms of gun laws and that. All right, Chris. So I'm going to go, guys, but next week, 10 o'clock next week, I'll have a live program and see if I can come up with a topic a little bit different, hopefully, okay, other than politics, but come up with something else that we can talk about. All right, gentlemen, thank you. Have a good weekend.